we've got Sean Young here, who is the Senior Product Manager of Autodesk. Welcome, Sean.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So what is Project Newport? Project Newport.
Yeah, well, you know, I like to think about Project Newport as a game engine for architects, and it's not really the most accurate way to describe it, but it conjures up the right imagery, the idea of a game engine, which most people associate with something real-time, immersive, where you're walking around, looking around an environment, and what you see almost seems like it's really there. So one thing to know about Project Newport is it comes from the Media and Entertainment Division, which is really interesting because in the Media and Entertainment Division we have Maya and 3ds Max, Motion Builder and XSI, gaming technology, and we're a leader in the world in entertainment technology. But what's really interesting about this opportunity is we're developing cutting-edge technology for film studios and game publishers, and we're working on bringing that technology where it counts over to other areas of our business like architecture and engineering. And this technology can assist architects, engineers, and personas in those fields in real relevant ways. So let's talk about what Newport isn't.
Okay.
So first of all, it's not a product. It's a research and development project. And it's a significant effort to bring a real-time gaming experience to architects. And the reason is because the data sets are so complicated, and it's reality, and it needs to look real. And in a video game, when you want to try to make something look real, you get to control every element, every detail of the game. And so you have meetings. Well, okay, the user is in the corner of the room and they see this thing and that thing, so we can optimize all the details of that corner of the room for performance, for look. But in an environment that an architect is working on, things are always changing. And you don't have the time or the ability to control that level of detail. So our challenge is to create an environment that just works. So what Newport isn't is it's not a design tool. A design tool like Revit, AutoCAD, Inventor, those tools are career tools used by professionals to create design. In the architecture case, Revit, for example, I build a building with Revit. Newport is not a professional visualization tool. 3ds Max Design is a career tool for professional visualization experts to create cinematic quality renderings, animations, the beautiful imagery that we see all over here at AU. So Newport is somewhere in between. Newport is a companion tool for designers to communicate design. So we have 3ds Max that can create this beautiful imagery. But to create that beautiful imagery, you need more than the tool. You need the skill. And 3ds Max is for a regular architect who's focused on Revit, who's focused on AutoCAD. It takes effort, it takes focus, and it takes practice to get it right. Now the problem is that architects, for example, using Revit, need to always communicate design. It's part of their process. They're not designing for themselves. They're designing for constituents. They're designing for clients. They're designing for their peers. So it's very important that they have the ability to communicate design effortlessly as part of the design process. And presently, that's not so easy to do. Presently, there's many ways to communicate design, but most of them are destructive. None of them are sort of organic, an organic part of the design process.
You said most of them are destructive? Are destructive?
They're destructive in the sense that when the design changes, I need to redo the design communication process. So, and in architecture, the design is changing all the time. So the first and most important thing for Newport is it kind of just fits right in. So an architect, and we're primarily focusing on Revit, just feels at home, like it's a natural extension of the Revit workflow. So I'm designing in Revit, and I'm presenting my design with Newport. And when my design changes in Revit, well, that change just flows back into Newport. So once we've established that direct link between the two, the next most important thing is that, well, you know, I don't want to have to go to school to learn Newport. because I'm going to school to learn Revit, and I'm going to school to learn about architecture, and I've got so many classes to keep up on in my discipline that I don't want to have to go to visualization class. So with Project Newport, it just works. It's just sit down in front of the product for a few hours, and you just get it, because the data just comes over, because it looks right the first time you bring it in, and because it's easy to take it to the finish line. So what does take it to the finish line mean in the sense of a Newport workflow? It means narrative. It means telling the story of the design. It's not just about getting it to look perfectly, because that should be sort of an automated process. It's about injecting my personal sense of how I want to communicate the design and what elements of the design I want to focus on as an architect. And so Newport is really about the narrative, about enabling architects to tell the story or sell the story in the way that they feel best suits the design and the audience.
Very good. So, when will it be available? Is it available now?
Well, it's not available now for most of the world. We're in research and development. And what we've done is actually really interesting. We've opened up our back door, the door to our development team, to a handful of clients, of Autodesk clients, ranging from some of the top architecture firms in the world to some of the smallest. And the reason is because we want to have a range of opinions about what's right and what's wrong with the direction we're heading in. And not only do we get continuous feedback from these customers, and we call them charter customers, but we don't hold anything back from them in terms of secrets or plans.
Right.
We share where we're going, we share what we want to do, and we share our builds with them. So in a sense, they're guiding us towards producing the product that the market requires. It's very important that they're representative of the market, so we get this right. So we're in research and development. Those customers are helping us develop the product that the market requires. And so for the rest of the world, we're just going, we're going as fast as we can.
So where can people just keep tabs on when it's coming out? Is there a website or?
Yeah. So at Autodesk we have a website called Autodesk Labs.
Okay.
And that's where we introduce all our innovative new technology, and that's where Newport's home is now. So right now in Autodesk Labs you can learn more about Newport, see some videos, and if and when there's something available for the world, it will be in Autodesk Labs first.
Great. Thank you very, very much for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us.